Hey everyone, this is Mark. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about the 12 proven email marketing flows that every D2C and e-commerce brands use to boost revenue, first-time purchases, and retention. So, why should you even look at this guide? So again, my name is Mark, and for the past 5 years, I scaled my own e-commerce brands to 500K per month in revenue and helped many other brands similar to yours, including a brand from portfolio company of a publicly traded company, increase their bottom line revenue from email marketing. And in total, I've helped clients add 5 million plus in attributed revenue and probably have lost count at this point. Results from these flows. So pretty much all flows are automated. Every time a customer activates a certain trigger, the email sequence will begin an autopilot, which will result in you more money, more profit, more revenue, more first-time conversions, and more money to scale your front-end acquisition costs like meta ads, Google ads, SEO, or organic content. So in this image below, we can see for the last 30 days, this brand has generated 400K in revenue, and about 198K was from email marketing. And of that, flows attributed to about 81,000, which was 40% of their email attributed revenues. So as you can see, just having these flows in place will just generate you more money in the back end without you even doing anything. So why do we even need email flows in the first place for e-commerce brands, and why is it even so essential for an e-commerce business? So the first reason is we want to recapture lost sales. Email flows are a pretty powerful tool for converting potential customers and also upselling existing ones. For instance, abandoned checkout emails can remind customers of what they left behind and encourage them to complete the purchase. And often we like to incorporate discounts or other incentives to just boost the conversion rate on those. Similarly, post-purchase upsell emails can promote related products and accessories, which will not only increase sales and the lifetime value of that customer, but also improve the customer's experience with their purchase. So flows that you could set up to recapture these lost sales are a flow like Welcome Series, abandonment flow, which includes abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, browse abandonment, site abandonment, and also a flow that I like to use is abandoned email click flow. And also we have post-purchase series, and then winback and sunset flows. And then the second reason on why we should even have email flows in place for all e-commerce brands is compared to other marketing channels, email marketing is remarkably cost effective. And for email flows, once set up, it can run automatically and reach a large number of customers without even the need of extra ad costs or resources. And pretty much this effectiveness makes the email flow an essential strategy for maximizing marketing budgets, especially for e-commerce brand that's looking to optimize their spend. Because what's happening in here is that once you're spending money on meta ads, Google ads to get people into your website and you actually get their email lists, how do you effectively retarget them? So once we have their email, we're able to retarget them with abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, browse abandonment, site abandonment, abandoned email click, which is way more effective than just having your ads retargeted, because if someone entered their email, we know that they're pretty much interested in the product, but maybe they just got distracted and weren't ready to buy. So what email marketing does, or more specifically email flows, is that we're able to send emails based on these customers' behaviors. And then next we have building long-term relationships. Email flows keep customers connected with brand through regular and meaningful communication. So this ongoing engagement is pretty much vital for building a long-term relationships with your customer, which also, encourages repeat business and increased customer loyalty. And then over time, this consistent contact helps you develop a strong customer base that is pretty much key to growing any e-commerce business. So you pretty much want to build this loyal customer base where you're pretty much getting most of your revenue from there. You get repeat business, repeat revenue, higher retention rates, and just people coming back. So essentially, this is going to help you build these long-term customer. So essentially, this is just going to help you build a long-term customer base, which you don't even need to spend money on acquiring these customers because they're already ready to buy. We just need to reach out to them in a meaningful way, tell them what's going on with the company, whether if we have new product drops. There's a higher chance that someone's going to buy from you again that purchased once or twice than someone who has purchased from you 0 times. And then the final reason is we want to automate lifecycle marketing. So what is lifecycle marketing? Lifecycle marketing is targeting customers at different stages of their relationship with your brand. So it's seamlessly executed with email flows, and from nurturing new leads to engaging with repeat customers, email flows can be customized to address various phases of the customer lifecycle, ensuring that each customer receives the right message at the right time. So stages of lifecycle marketing include awareness, interest, desire, action, and loyalty. So based on which stage your customer is in, emails will be sent based on the lifecycle stage with your email flows if you have it set up correctly. So here are the must-have flows you need to build for your e-commerce brand. So the first flow we want to build out is the welcome flow. So triggers for this is you want them to be opted into your email list, and then we want to filter them by place orders 0 times over all time. So why is the welcome flow needed? A welcome flow is an essential element in email marketing strategies, especially for e-commerce and direct-to-consumer brands. Pretty much it serves at a critical purpose that increases the customer experience and drives business success. It's pretty much a introduction to your brand. And then for content for the welcome flow, usually for the first email, we like to welcome the brand and present the incentive that we offer them when they sign up to the email list. And then another trick that I like to do is that if they haven't opened the first email, we want to resend the first email, since that's usually the most high converting email, with a different subject line. So if your first email was welcome to X brand, maybe a different subject line you can use is here is X% off. And then we can send a second email, which would be a discount reminder plus brand story plus any unique selling propositions. A third email that we can use in our welcome flow is any testimonial, UGC content, social proof, or any before and after reviews. So the fourth email is founder story plus mission. So in this email, you pretty much want to talk about the founder, maybe send a plain text with the founder's signature, then address who he is and the mission behind the brand, why was it even created, and then you also want to include a CTA to the website. And then for the fifth email, social media highlights plus follow-us. This will pretty much help your brand build any social proof, redirect them to your social media where you're able to retarget them with content from your social media pages. And then for the sixth email, you want to send an email about them joining your SMS list. And the reason we want to do this is because SMS is a more personal information that not everyone likes to give out. So the reason we want to have this in our welcome flow is because once they have gone through our email 1, 2, 3, they understand our brand, they know who we are. And then for our seventh email, we pretty much want a last chance reminder of the first incentive. So this will basically remind them, hey, this is your last chance to use it. And if you don't use it now, you pretty much won't have a chance to use it again. And then for the eighth email and beyond, something that we like to do is give another last chance reminder. And for this email, sometimes we might even boost the discount rate, but we want to add some urgency into that. So we want to add a time limit here so people won't be using it after the code expired. And here are just some welcome flow email design examples from 7, 8, and 9-figure brands. Next, moving on to the abandoned checkout. So the trigger for our abandoned checkout email is if they started checkout. So flow filters we want to have for this is if they place orders 0 times since starting this flow and has not been in the flow in the last 7 days. So this flow is needed because an abandoned checkout flow is essential for e-commerce brands due to its critical role in capturing potential lost sales and also improving the overall customer experience. So this flow is extremely important because this is one of the highest intent flows. So they're just about to check out, but maybe they got distracted, or they left their credit card across the room and didn't want to get it for now. So this flow essentially just sends reminders to them about their product that's left in the cart. So email content that we want to use for abandoned cart is reminder of the product left in checkout plus social proof for the first email. In a second email, we want to have a reminder of the product left in checkout plus any objection handles. So objection handles for e-commerce business is usually shipping, quality, and customer support, and also your product quality. So for the first email, I usually don't include any discounts just because people buy anyways, they usually forget. And then for the second email, that's when you can actually add a discount reminder, whether it be 10% off, 50% off, or a dollar amount. And for the third email, you want to have a plain text reminder from the founder. And then you also want to redirect them to the cart. And also, we want the founder to discuss any of those objection handles as well. So whether that be product quality or shipping or materials, that's the email that the founder will address in that email. And then for the fourth email, we want a reminder of the product left in checkout plus objection handles plus urgency. So now that we have the discount, so for the fourth email, we want to add some urgency that, hey, this is the last chance to use it, the last 2 days to use it. That will just make the customer that actually abandoned cart check out faster compared to with no urgency. And for the fifth email, we can include a higher tier discount plus a 24-hour expiring reminder. But pretty much this last email is to capture anyone who's potentially interested in buying as soon as possible. So here are just some email design examples for the abandoned checkout. So next we have a abandoned cart email. So the triggers for this is if they add it to cart. So for flow filter is they place 0 orders 0 times since starting this flow. Checkout started 0 times since starting this flow and has not been in this flow in the past 7 days. So why is this needed, right? An abandoned cart flow triggers potential customers who have added the cart into their shopping cart but have not proceeded to the checkout. So this is completely different from the abandoned checkout flow. That flow targets people that initiated the checkout phase but did not complete the purchase. This flow targets people that have added to cart but have not actually gone to the checkout phase. And the reason we want to even have this flow is we want to send them back into your cart so they can actually proceed to the checkout process. So for the abandoned cart email, it pretty much mirrors the abandoned checkout, but the only thing that we like to change in this is the call to action. So if the checkout email CTA is telling them to complete their purchase, our abandoned cart emails will tell them to return to their cart or proceed to checkout. So there's some technical aspects in this. You actually have to add code into your Shopify store to actually track your add to cart button. If you don't have that set up, you can't actually activate this flow. And here are just some email design examples for the abandoned cart email. And now we have browse abandonment. Triggers for this is when a customer views a product, but they place orders 0 times since starting this flow, checkout 0 times since starting this flow, added to cart 0 times since starting this flow, and has not been in this flow in 14 days. Why is this flow even needed? So a browse abandonment flow aims to convert casual browsers into buyers. So this type of flow targets potential customers who have shown interest in specific products or categories by viewing them, but haven't added any items into the cart or initiate checkout. So for our browse abandonment flow, some content that we like to do is, hey, we saw you checking out this product, and then we want to add any unique selling proposition of the brand. And then for the second email, we can do a reminder of the product view plus add any social proof. And for the second email, you can also add in a discount here if it works with your brand. And then the third email is a reminder of the product view. For the discount we offer them in the second email, we want to add some urgency into that so they can actually use it. Instead of having the discount code not used, that's just in their inbox. And here are just some design examples for our browse abandonment flow. Next, we have site abandonment. So the triggers for this is they've been active on site, and then for flow filters, they place orders 0 times since starting this flow. checkout started 0 times since starting this flow, added to cart 0 times since starting this flow, and has viewed product 0 times since starting this flow, and has not been in the flow in 30 days. And the reason we want this flow active is because a site abandonment flow is critical for e-commerce businesses because it targets potential customers who visit the site but left without engaging deeply with any content, such as viewing any specific products or adding an item to cart. Our site abandonment flow is to actually show the customers what we have to offer, showing our best sellers, showing our best collections. For the site abandonment flow, content we can use for the first email is an angle. We saw that you were interested, and then include any best sellers and then best selling collections as well. And then for the second email, we want to reintroduce those best sellers and add any social proof plus reviews. And then you can also add any objection handles here. So that usually includes shipping policies, return policies, customer support, and product quality. And here are just some email design examples for our site abandonment flow. And now we have the abandoned email click. So usually people refer to this as the window shopper flow. So what is this flow? So the triggers for this is if they get added into the segment, and the segment definition is usually clicked email at least 5 times. Now for the flow filters, we want to include place orders 0 times since starting this flow, checkout started 0 times since starting this flow, added to cart 0 times since starting this flow, and also viewed product 0 times since starting this flow. So why is this flow even needed? So abandoned email click targets individuals who have shown interest in the product by clicking on items in your email, but has not actually proceeded to anything such as viewed product, add to cart. So this shows us that the customer is interested, but just didn't get any good incentive to actually purchase your product. And so to counter that, for our first email, we want to give them a flash angle. So that can usually be like 15%, 20% off if that makes sense for your brand's margin. And then for the second email, we can include an offer that's expiring and showcase any best sellers. So the content of this flow is actually just push them to purchase and a reason to actually add an item into cart and checkout. And so that's pretty much it for our pre-purchase series. So now moving on to our post-purchase series. So our post-purchase series, the triggers for this is if they place orders, and then flow filters for this is that if they place orders equals to 1 time over all time and has canceled orders 0 times since starting this flow. And then for this, you can also have a conditional split for first time purchasers and second time purchasers. So for this, you'll be place order equals 2 times over all time for your conditional split. And the reason this is needed is because a post-purchase flow is a key element of email marketing that targets customers after they've made a purchase. So it's essential for several reasons that contributes to enhancing the customer satisfaction, driving a repeat purchase by upselling or cross-selling, and then that also fosters a long-term relationship with the customer as well. So content for a post-purchase series for a first-time buyer is just a simple thank you from the founder branded text in the first email. And then for the second email, once the product is actually fulfilled and it's being shipped to their house, you can send an email about what they can expect from your brand, maybe brand mission, future plans. And then we also want to add an education email for the third email. And then angles that you can use is product how-to, product care instruction guide, social proof, or even just direct them to your social media. Then for the fourth email, we can actually do a review request. Maybe you can even incentivize them by giving a 10% off if they leave a review. And this way you're able to just get feedback from the customer, know what's working, what your customers like, what your customers don't like. And this will essentially just help you build your brand better over time. And then for second time purchasers, we can be a little bit more simple with this. So the first email for this is we can thank them again for supporting the brand. And then for the second email for this, we can offer them an incentive for being a loyal customer. And then here is just some email designs for our post-purchase series. And now we have an upsell and bounceback flow. So the triggers for this is if they place order, and then a flow filter is they haven't been in the flow in the last 60 days. So the reason this flow is needed is because It's an immediate upsell flow, and it's a strategic approach in email marketing which aims to increase the average order value and maximize revenue from existing customers by offering additional products or upgrades immediately after a purchase. So implementing this flow is critical for several reasons, and the top reason for this is enhancing your lifetime value of a customer. So upsell / bounceback flow. What content can we add into this flow? So for the first email, we can give them a crazy offer they cannot say no to that expires in 24 hours. And the reason we can give this crazy offer is because we already acquired a customer. It costs us no money to generate an additional few dollars, which is going to help you increase your average order value. And the only thing you're pretty much paying for is the cost of the product. There's no additional cost in upselling a potential customer. And for the second email, it's just a simple last chance reminder of the email. If you don't use this in the next 12 hours, it's going to expire and you can never get this discount ever again. And here are just some email design examples for our upsell or bounce back flow. So next we have the replenishment reminder. So keep in mind that this flow is only for replenishable brands. So usually that is consumer product good brands, candy brands, hair product brands, beauty brands. Something that you can reuse month to month. So for this flow, trigger is they place orders, and then for the time delay, we want to do 45 days or your average repeat purchase cycle. And then flow filters for this is they place orders 0 times since starting this flow. And the reason this flow is essential for replenishable brands is because a replenishment flow is particular for e-commerce brand that sells consumable products or items that require regular replacement. The reason we want this replenishment reminder is because it reminds the customer to re-up on your previous order. And since this is a replenishable product, if they use your product once and they like it, they're pretty much going to buy until they churn out or if they find their competitor or product. So a real life example of this is I've been using the same toothpaste for like 10 years. And I usually buy this toothpaste every time I run out. But if I get replenishment reminders about this toothpaste, then when I'm like 25% done and I buy it again, I would never run out. I would never have to switch toothpastes for like, 1 to 2 days when I'm out of that certain toothpaste, right? So replenishment reminder email content for the first email that we can use is pretty much send an email with the angle of if you need to re-up or remind them of their previous order and even introduce new products for them. Second email, we can introduce an offer and social proof to resell them on using this product. And then for the third email, just an offer reminder for your next order. And here are just some email design examples for our replenishment flow. And now we have a customer winback flow. So the triggers for our winback flow is place orders, and the time delay can be anywhere between 60 to 90 days. Then flow filters is they place orders 0 times since starting this flow. And a winback flow is an essential strategy for e-commerce brands or other customer-centric businesses aiming to re-engage and reactivate customers who have not made a recent purchase or shown interest in a while. So essentially this flow is what it says it is. It helps you win back customers that haven't purchased in a while. So the first email angle that we can use for the customer winback flow is send an email about, hey, we haven't seen you in a while, and then we can also introduce what's new about the brand. And then for the second email, we can include any UGC reviews, pains and problems your brand solves, plus, you can introduce an offer here. So that can be similar to your welcome offer, 10% off. And then for the third email, we want to keep it simple. We want to just remind them about the offer and then also add in some urgency to it. So whether it be expiring in 1 day, 24 hours, 3 days. And these are the email design examples for our winback flow. And then another flow that we can do for our loyalty stage is our VIP customer flow. And the trigger for this is it's added to our VIP segment, and usually the definition for this segment is they purchase 2 or 3 times or they spend 2 to 3x your average order value. Then for flow filters for this is if they place orders 0 times since starting this flow. And the reason this flow is even needed is because a VIP flow in email marketing is critical for nurturing and rewarding your most valuable customers. So this specialized communication strategy focuses on customers who frequently purchase, or they spent a significant amount, or they demonstrated a high engagement with your brand. So why not reward them? So for the content that we can use for our VIP flow is we want to welcome them to the VIP club, give them an offer for being a loyal customer. And then the second email is just a reminder of the offer, plus give them any urgency. This flow is basically just letting the customer know that they're part of your secret club now, and they'll pretty much get all the goodies first before any regular customer does. And here are just some email design examples for our VIP flow. And finally, we have our sunset flow. So the triggers for our sunset flow is they've been added to our unengaged segment. So the flow filters for this is they've opened emails 0 times since starting this flow, and have clicked emails 0 times since starting this flow. So what is even a sunset flow? So a sunset flow targets inactive subscribers who haven't engaged with your emails for an extended period of time. So this flow helps with the process of cleaning up your email list and maintaining a healthy sender reputation. So how this sunset flow will go if they qualify as unengaged, and once they do qualify as unengaged, we'll send them an email about if they're still active and let them know that they're free to unsubscribe, and we can also give them a discount for coming back. And the second email is just the last email that they receive from us plus a reminder of the discount. And then the third email for this is just a breakup email. Hey, this is going to be the last email you receive from us, and then after that, they haven't opened or clicked on the email, we'll suppress them. And once they're suppressed, they'll no longer be able to receive our emails. And this is actually a good thing because if they aren't opening our emails, they aren't engaging, they aren't clicking on our emails, there's actually no point in having them in our active list because it's just going to cost you money to actually keep them in your ESP. And here are just some design examples or just plain text emails that you can actually send to them. So that's pretty much it, and I really hope you found value from this guide. And if you want to find me, you can find me on X, LinkedIn, YouTube, or you can just send me an email at mark@dialhousedigital.com. And if you do need help with this, book a call. I will add you 50 to 500K per month from your email list in the next 60 days, or you won't even need to pay a dime. So yeah, that is it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.